Welcome back to my channel. Let's go over the very important stimulus check news. But first, don't forget to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family, because on this channel I always do my very best in providing you with the most up-to-date and reliable stimulus check information.
You told the seniors of this country you were on their side. You told working people you were on their side. You said you would not cut Social Security. You would not cut Medicare. You would not cut Medicaid. You know what? Millions of us are going to demand.
Now, when Congress approved the $1.9 trillion in stimulus payments to most Americans, it was billed as an effort to bolster the struggling economy. As part of the American Rescue Plan, Congress authorized spending of $1.9 trillion, which did include a $1,400 direct stimulus payment. Did you guys receive your third stimulus check of $1,400, folks? Because many of you guys are commenting that you're still missing out on the third stimulus relief check. So folks, did you receive your stimulus check from President Biden? Tell me in the comments below.
To turn their dream of ending Medicare into a nightmare for the American people. And when they do so, they say, well, it's not going to cost the current seniors anything. No, current seniors will pay more with their budget and their plans for the Affordable Care Act.
Now, the American Rescue Plan also extended unemployment benefits, which added even more cost to the plan and final spend. The cost of the CARES Act, for example, was the first stimulus relief package. It had a per-person taxpayer cost of approximately $16,800. Payments to Americans were $200 less in that round, but the income qualifications back in the CARES Act did not change significantly to the 2021 version of stimulus relief. Everybody, Bernie Sanders is now pushing for more relief for the American people. He wants to help out our seniors by increasing Social Security benefits. What are your thoughts on Bernie Sanders, folks? Tell me in the comments below.
Today has a surplus of $2.6 trillion. Social Security can pay out every benefit owed to every eligible American for the next 27 years. Do we need to make some changes to improve Social Security? Strengthen it for 75 years? Sure we do. I've got ideas, other people have.
Bernie Sanders is the chair of the Build Back Better Budget Committee. He said some Republicans who are willing to give tax breaks to the rich are also eager to kick 30 million people off health care by revoking the Affordable Care Act. Now, Rashida Tlaib did say that the effort goes beyond improving roads and bridges and to focus on the care of the economy to support families and even address climate change. According to Bernie Sanders, this infrastructure bill of $3.5 billion will help millions of Americans. Sanders said, we put money into communities like Detroit that are already suffering significantly.
On the Federal Reserve, from an investment standpoint, Federal Reserve Chairman Jay Powell's speech, much more important to investors. Of course, we'll be covering it, and we're all waiting to see what kind of language he will say.
This bill will be the largest single investment by far in American history. We are going to deal with climate, deal with housing, and deal with childcare. Now, in regards to Social Security benefits, here's what Bernie Sanders is saying. He also added, Social Security benefits are getting a boost for 2022, potentially the biggest bump in the last 40 years, while the annual increase could be as high as 6.2% due to inflation. The monthly check may not go as far as you think. Social Security's cost of living adjustment, which is also known as COLA, is calculated each year by the Consumer Price Index for urban wage earners and clerical workers. It will make the calculation for 2022 based on the data through the third quarter. Also, AARP also noted that the Social Security Administration typically announces the amount of the annual adjustment in October.
Some questions.
Senators, you've mentioned President Biden's budget several times throughout this press conference. I was wondering if I could get your reaction to the proposed Democratic $3.5 trillion budget resolution that we've been learning about.
Well, to me, that $3.5 trillion that was announced last night really is the extreme Democrats' freight train to socialism. And the American people are going to end up paying for that in many different ways. There's going to be massive tax increases, which are going to hit every American family. There's going to be what we're seeing now with record inflation, and the current inflation numbers are nothing compared to what's going to happen if you try to put this much money into the economy. And people are going to pay for it through regulations, which are going to make things a lot more expensive to do any sort of activity. So the taxes and the regulations are, to me, going to sink the economy. And we had a strong, growing economy prior. So this is something that they're going to need every Democrat to pass, because there's not a single Republican in the House or the Senate who's going to support this level of taxing and spending and regulations. Remember, this $3.5 trillion is on top of the bipartisan effort on infrastructure that's ongoing right now for roads and bridges. This has nothing to do with roads and bridges. This is a massive expansion of health care in America, child care, the types of things that we're taking a look at here. It's the Green Bad Deal, a lot of regulations related to that. So we're looking at a situation where they are proposing something, and it shouldn't surprise anyone, because Bernie Sanders has not hidden the fact that he is a socialist. He does want socialism in America. He is fully in on this, and the Democrats are proposing to spend money like it's monopoly money.
Given the, to piggyback off that question, given now that we know this top line number of the Democrats' reconciliation bill is $3.5 trillion, we still haven't seen bill text from the bipartisan group of senators on their infrastructure proposal. Do you think that by knowing the Democrats are going to push through $3.5 trillion, that will sway some of your conference? Does it sway you at all to not supporting a bipartisan infrastructure bill, given how much spending is going to take place, whether or not you guys vote for it?
All of us are interested in actually doing core infrastructure, physical infrastructure, the roads, the bridges, the ports, the airports, those sorts of things, broadband, that we all know that we need in our country. There are a group of us, ranking members of committees, I was part of that met with President Biden in trying to do something with that. He's now moved beyond that to this bipartisan group. We want to make sure it's true infrastructure and that it is actually legitimately paid for without a lot of funny business. We want to make sure that the way that it's paid for is something that we can believe in and that it is paid for. But they're talking about adding a significant amount of debt as part of this $3.5 trillion bill, and that's something that the kids and grandkids of this country are going to have to take with them through their entire life.
Do you think the bipartisan bill is paid for based on what you've seen? Do you think it's paid for in a responsible way?
I think all of us on the Republican side have concerns about this concept of supersizing the IRS to investigate and go deeper into families and farms and small businesses in their efforts to try to gain more tax money. I think the American people, certainly in Wyoming, want to pay the taxes. They want to know what the right amount is, and a lot of times they have a hard time getting information from the IRS just so they can comply with the law. But the idea of putting billions and billions more and hiring more and more IRS agents to go out and try to get billions and billions of more dollars is a concern to all of us. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, Senator Schumer said that he was going to try and push for a vote on this bill before the August